Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request this time for RB. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, comments, or what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2016 film Split, which was M. Night Shyamalan's film. We come to find out it was a secret sequel to Unbreakable. Then they did that third movie, Glass, which had both this character and Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson in it. Split is one of those movies that is not as awful as a lot of other M. Night Shyamalan films, to be fair. It's not nearly as awful as The Village, or Lady in the Water, or Old, or The Happening. Could definitely say I would rather watch this than Glass, which that film is a garbage movie. I mean, all this build-up for Bruce Willis's character to drown in a little puddle from some random SWAT member because of whatever the hell they were going for. Even this character, even if you're interested in this villainous character, is just to lead up to staying in an asylum, twiddling their fucking thumbs while Dr. Ruth, or whatever the fuck her name is examining their heads, say, "Oh, you're not really a superhero. You're not super." Then, "Oh yeah, actually you are super. They're just trying to fuck with you." Like, that's the story. And then, "Oh yeah, you get distracted. You get shot by a sniper." Like, wow, all this build up for that payoff. Psst. Good job, M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. James McAvoy, I will say, is definitely the best part of the film. He's definitely doing what he can. I can appreciate his performance. It's just the movie itself, I wasn't that invested with the story or the other characters. I'll be honest, I didn't care about the other characters. And it's not that I think they were bad actors. It's just, I was indifferent. The beginning of the film, where you have this girl that you know something's off with her, and these two other girls, and they're going to ride with one of their dads, but he gets knocked the fuck out. James McAvoy comes in, and this girl sees him, and I know later on we find out she's been through stuff, and that's the explanation. But as a movie fan, I'm still going, what the fuck? You're freezing there when this guy's spraying two of these ladies, and you're not trying to get out of the car. You're not trying to do anything. He takes his mask off. You're not trying to do anything. Then he turns, and then he slowly puts it back on, and you're still not doing anything. You just... And I get it. Before people complain, I get it. People do get scared. People do freeze up. I understand that. I can't help but still be fucking infuriated with the person. I'm sorry. So, James McAvoy stars as a guy who has 26 or so personalities. He has DID, dissociated identity disorder. So he'll have Hedwig, who's like a kid personality, 9 years old. One's called Dennis. One's called Patricia, who's a lady. One's called Barry, among others. But the main ones we see are Dennis, who's kind of very straightforward and wants to keep things clean. Patricia, who's this kind of feminine side. And Hedwig, the kid persona. He kidnaps these three, locks them in, which you find out is underneath the zoo. And throughout the movie, you get these flashbacks of the lead girl going hunting with her dad, and you know something's up, and you find out that, I guess, I'm not sure if her father did anything, but I know her uncle did stuff to her. You never see any of it viscerally, thankfully, but you get the idea. You get the general idea. So it's pretty much these three women trapped, wondering what to do next. The other two ladies are okay, but just not much for me to say about them. They were okay. The lead girl, I get that she's been through stuff, but at times she's just a Debbie Downer. No, you can't do anything because he's too tough. No, you can't do anything because he'll be too strong. No, he did. I'm like, what? Did fucking do something? Fucking stay there and die. Goddamn. But I did, because she's broken just like James McAvoy's character is broken. You also have this therapist lady, which for a second I thought they try and make her like a female Dr. Loomis. I guess in a way, with this therapist that will talk with James McAvoy. Of course, she doesn't know what's going on, and she'll do part of these video conferences about how special things can happen when some people have all these personalities and they could be more special. Was it a case she had where someone had an eye healed or something like that? It's like something crazy had happened, and that we don't know how these personalities work and the psyche of the mind work, and who knows what that could lead to. M. Night Shyamalan's got to put his cameo in where he's typing, helping the therapist, and the therapist is complaining about Hooters being, if Henry V ran a fast food place, and M. Night going, that's a great place. So they're trying to manipulate James McAvoy when he's the kid persona. They try to escape through the vents that don't work out. They get put into separate rooms. You pretty much get the idea that these personalities are kind of fighting over each other and kind of waiting until the beast comes out in a matter of days. Which is the most, pretty much, long story short, spoilers, a superhuman cannibal side to this guy. Where he can climb on walls, he's incredibly strong, and he's a cannibal. You know, the beast. And the victims he chooses are ones that never truly suffered. If you have suffered, if you're broken, then you're safe. If you've never truly suffered, then you're just another victim, kid. Like I said, the story itself, I don't know, it just, James McAvoy helped make it work and be watchable. I didn't think it was scary like some people said it was, or creepy, or suspenseful. At times I found it a bit predictable, where, okay, this lead girl's having flashbacks. As soon as you find the first or second flashback, you kind of know, okay, she was abused in some way, shape, or form. That's why we're seeing flashbacks. That's why she acts so weird. That's why she was so frozen against James McAvoy at the beginning, because, you know, it's her nature. The therapist, I kind of knew she was, in spoilers, I knew she was going to get killed, and ultimately she does. The beast, you kind of figure what that would be based on the descriptions. The music, I don't even remember. The only piece of music I remember is when they played the Unbreakable theme again at the very, very end. For me, it's just James McAvoy's performance, how he'll switch between different identities. He wasn't bad. I will say he did a commendable job, if I'm being fair. It's just, I don't know. Maybe because it's still a guy, has 3 women trapped. The 3 women didn't really interest me. Even the lead girl, it's like, okay, I did her backstory, but I just didn't find her a compelling character. I didn't find her she's okay as an actress. I just didn't find her a compelling actress. Maybe because I get what she's doing, but I was getting so frustrated. But at the same time, I know I'm supposed to sympathize and understand, but there's that part of me is like, I still view it as a movie, so I just get pissed. Like, come on, goddamn it, do something. I know it's not fair. It just felt long. It felt, I mean, it's about 2 hours, so it just felt long. It just felt like it dragged at times. I don't know how else to word it. And it just, and then it got to, and then sometimes when James McAvoy is playing the kid character, sometimes it's just, like I said, it's, I get what they're going with. Sometimes it end up seeming a bit too goofy with some what he says. I know he's supposed to be 9-year-olds. I like this. You like that? I like this. I get what he does. Just I don't know. That's why I never. I've seen the film before. That's why I never reviewed it because I really didn't know what much to say. James McAvoy wasn't bad. Just the movie itself. For example, if I look at Kiss the Girls, that's about a guy who has women trapped. But I was very invested in Morgan Freeman's character and Ashley Judd's character. Ashley Judd, who escaped, and she's committed to finding those ladies despite putting herself in danger again. And Ashley Judd and then Morgan Freeman, as Alex Cross worked with her. That propulsion of that story helped me get intrigued by it. This is pretty much a superhero origin story. I mean, supervillain, just like Joker. But Joker even felt more of a interesting, compelling story. Maybe if the kidnapped girls were just a portion of the film, and we saw just more of this guy's life, and we see him fighting against himself. And we see the person that was more at war, like maybe half of them are for this, half of them are against this. You just see these bouts of him turn one from one character to another, fighting over dominance, and your plan's good, you're playing shit, babe. I don't know. Just ultimately what happens is, like you said, they try to escape through the vents, they fail, they get put into different rooms. The lead lady's still trying to talk to James McAvoy's head with the kid persona, and he shows her his room and his walkie-talkie. She tries to call for help, but it's too late. The therapist realizes something's going on, gets some messages, finds out what's going on, tries to talk to James McAvoy, but first off, she gets knocked out, and then later on she gets crushed by the beast. One of the girls gets killed off-screen, the other girl kinda off-screen. The lead girl finds that chick being munched on. So it's pretty much 2 or 3 main characters killed off-screen. But it's supposed to be the reveal of, oh, okay, this guy's eating her guts out. It's the cannibal. The cannibal's loose. And the beast is real, and he's able to climb on walls, and there's a wide shot that looks iffy when she's running away. And there's a wide shot where he'll jump to the ceiling, but you tell it's a CGI body going to the ceiling. Just for the way it moves. Like, you could tell it's not natural, so it took me out of it. I mean, it was so far away with shadows. You could have done that with wire work or something. Like, he goes up there and it's like wires, and you just remove the wires. It just looked like a CGI body. Very far away, so it wasn't too in your face, but still. I keep repeating this. Like, James McAvoy, like, some of his scenes were definitely the interest of the film. Like when the lead says his full real name, and he snaps out of it, and he doesn't realize that like 2 years have passed by, and he sees that the therapist he liked has died, and he tells her where the shotgun is, and he begs her to kill me, please kill me. But then that doesn't last long, and the other personalities take over. Okay, that was a nice acting performance by James McAvoy. Even as the Beast, when he's trying to go through the bars and he's actually pulling them apart with superhuman strength. And he looks down and her shirt's been ripped and sees all these stars and kind of his way his eyes and his laugh going, "Your heart is pure. The broken are the more evolved." I would say that music, to be fair. Okay, that music during that scene, when he's saying that, I didn't mind that piece of music. Sort of a bit more subtle, emotional piece of the musical score. And just the way James McAvoy channeled that. Which makes it even more like, when you watch Glass, it led to nothing. Him and Bruce Willis have a little fight, and then they're in a fucking asylum for bullshit reasons, twiddling their thumbs, thumb up their ass, and then a little fight at the end, which one came and beat the other because SWAT team has to drown Bruce Willis in a small puddle of fucking water or bullshit. It led to nothing in Glass. This all led to nothing. Even the lead character, I would say, honestly, there's really no development. There's really no development of her. I know you don't say, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, we find out more about her backstory, but I mean, as a character, I never really saw her develop in terms of getting stronger, overcoming her troubled past, overcoming her abilities to freeze. I mean, I guess you just say, at least she got the shotgun, locked herself in, and tried to shoot, so maybe you say that was the case. But even at the very end, where she's in a car and a cop goes, "Your uncle was here," and we know her uncle had done stuff to her. She never goes, "I have something to tell you," to the cop, or I need to tell you something, or that kind of arc I felt was missing from the lead girl, at least to me. So that's another reason why I just didn't feel for her as a strong character, at least in my eyes. And then the other two girls are kind of just there. M. Night has to put his fucking cameo in because he has a cameo in each movie he does. And then you think the movie's over, and then they're in like a coffee shop, and the music from Unbreakable's playing. And so it's like, what was that theme 15 years ago? That guy? His name was Mr. Glass. And that was Bruce Willis. Which again didn't lead to much of anything because Glass was a piece of shit movie. Do I think this is a piece of shit film? No. Compared to what M. Night's done, although I didn't mind Knock at the Cabin for what it was, it's a lot better, like I said, than The Village or Lady in the Water or Old. But it's not something I would ever watch again. I commend James McAvoy for what he was trying to do and what he was told to do with all these different personalities. He is... If people say they enjoyed for him, I can understand that. I can. I guess for me, it wasn't enough, and the other stuff of the characters and story just wasn't as appealing to me as maybe it was to other people. And also, it forcing it to be Unbreakable sequel leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because then it led to Glass. Because I guarantee you the success of this movie helped get Glass made. Because this film was a big success. Because for so many years, I know M. Night and them wanted to do a sequel to Unbreakable. But Unbreakable, it made some money, but it wasn't a blockbuster. In fact, when it came out, it was looked at as a disappointment. Because it didn't make nearly as much money as The Sixth Sense. Although I think Unbreakable is easily M. Night's best film. I think a lot of people feel the same way. So it being linked to that leaves a bad taste for what would come later with Glass. And like I said, the success of this movie, how much money it made, and then putting Unbreakable and Bruce Willis' character in there to be part of this universe. Maybe if it led to a more satisfying Split versus, the Horde, his name, versus Bruce Willis's character. Much more of a fitting finale battle. I'm not saying battle like punching superhero cities gotta cascade from the fucking sky to the ground. I'm saying even some more suspenseful in the sewer or cave system where Bruce Willis is on the hunt for this guy and back and forth. You're done in the vein of Unbreakable, but a different story. That would have been nice to see, but sadly we did not get that. So, for what it is, that's my views on Split. I don't know what else to say. I just repeated myself. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.